I'm TheronQRamacharaka. This video is about quitting smoking. This video is about quitting smoking. Now, you may notice already a slightly different tone in my voice than the one I usually have here in my over 450 videos I've made so far. And you're right. Because, here's why. You want to know why? I'll tell you why. Because this is day 5 of me not smoking. Now, I'm sure you have a lot of questions popping up in your head already if you have been watching a lot of my videos, if you have been subscribed to my channel, if you are accustomed to the type of material posted here on my channel. It has to do, you know, with self-mastery, personal evolvement, maximum performance in life and in your personal evolvement and self-mastery. So you might be wondering, what the heck does TheronQRamacharaka, self-mastery guy, have to do with quitting smoking 5 days ago? I would think that he would not have been smoking. Well, get out of your mamby-pamby mindset. If that just came up to your mind, you know, came into your mind. Let me explain something. Let me put it like this. When we, you, me, anybody else, judges another person's progress in life in a manner like that, that might just be, you know, mamby-pamby playground for little girls thinking. In other words, just stupid. You don't know a person's starting point. You don't know how much progress a person has already made. Here's an analogy. Let me say I bought 500 acres of land out in the woods somewhere, and I'm developing it. I'm cutting down some trees by hand. I'm planting stuff by hand. I'm doing a lot of landscaping, you know, and during the course of this, which might take most of my life, I learn a lot about doing such things because I'm doing it all by hand, for one. Okay? And I'm doing a lot of studying about it. I'm not just learning the old school way by getting my hands in the dirt. I'm also studying it. I might even get a degree in it in college. Go work for some landscaping firms as well to get their points of view through experience, not just by going and interviewing them for lunchtime. Okay? And I may have developed out of this, what did I say, 500 acres or so? All right, 455 of these acres over a 40 or 50 year period. They're beautiful. All right, beautiful. And I may now have been, for the last 20 years, laying out a series of YouTube videos telling other people how to do this by hand. And then some smartass comes by my property and sees that remaining, 5 acres left undeveloped, and says, whoa, this does not make sense. You're the landscaping guy. Here you are trying to teach other people how to do this, and you haven't even developed 5 acres. My response to that would be, get the fuck off my property, you smart-ass son of a bitch. So, if right now you thought, oh, the self-mastery dude just quit smoking 5 days ago, get the fuck off this video. Hit the thumbs down. Don't like it. Get all your friends not to like it. Make it the most hated video on YouTube so that everybody will want to know what's so hated about it and watch it. Notice my different tone of voice here, my different manner. Quitting smoking after 45 years is not easy. My brain today is not working the same as it was 6 days ago before I started this. Everything that I know about self-mastery is having to come into play here. This is me maintaining self-control. This video is to show you what quitting smoking is like, at least for me, and to tell you that you can do it and that you should do it as soon as you can get to it. And this, as soon as you can get to it, there's some ambiguity over what I mean by that. You see, in my life, I came from, if you've looked at every video I've made, you will have come across a little bit of my autobiographical material here. I have not posted anything about me, just to talk about me. Therefore, there's not much about me here. Where I have posted it is to help you understand something about you. But if you have encountered some of that, you will know certain things about my past. You will know that I have done a lot of work on myself. The one thing left, like that last 5 acres of land, was quitting smoking. Other severe things, more severe things, other affairs had to be dealt with before. And I have dealt with worse, much worse things than this. While this is an ass kicker and a brain twister and a brain buster and a mind bender, it's not the worst thing I've dealt with. No. Not by far. Now, you might say, wait a minute. This, when you can get to it, when you can most best get to it, that might just well be now. Here's an explanation of that. A lot of people think, I'll just wait until there's a less stressful time in my life. Let me tell you something about stressful times. Here, let me give you an example. Let me give you an example of a stressful time. Right? Yesterday, it was confirmed to me. A suspicion was confirmed to me. The suspicion was that I will not be able to continue making an income doing what I've been doing for the last 5 years. My income, in large, has come from commercial, residential, and industrial painting. Almost 1 month ago, I tore 2 of the 4 muscles in my right shoulder rotator cuff. Its ability to function is down by 50%. 50% of the muscles in my shoulder that rotate my shoulder, the main rotator cuff, are torn in half. One of the muscles is even retracted back to where it goes, if it's not held on to anything. There's probably not going to be surgery. There's no guarantee that surgery would really help anything anyway. Prior to that injury a month ago, there had been a previous injury 2.5 years ago, let's say. I was struck in that same shoulder straight on from the side by a tractor trailer, front end of a tractor trailer. Crushed the shoulder into here. The fact that I could paint at all after that, kind of a big deal. But I did. Fully functional. But injuring it further. Still making a living. Doing what I have to do. But because the muscles were not working properly after the tractor trailer incident, regardless of me having applied a lot of mental discipline techniques that I've learned throughout my life and which I present to you here on my channel, in order to function at all, to have an arm that even moves again, applying all the mental therapeutics and self-telementation and mental induction on myself techniques that I know every moment of the day for about a 6 to 9 month duration after being hit by that tractor trailer. That's how I was able to, again, have a functioning arm and just look like nothing had ever happened. But the muscles weren't working exactly correctly. Insofar as there are pieces of broken ribs sticking out in the way of their movement, at least because of that. I mean, I had a rather crushed rib cage up in this area, front to back. That changes a few things. All right. Because of those conditions, the recent injury now has occurred. This means that I can now not any longer, I can no longer go back to what I was doing to make a living. It's not going to work. Doing that would further deteriorate what's left of my shoulder's anatomy, muscular anatomy that makes it function at all now. Okay, now, you may also know my approximate age. I said recently here on a channel news video, it's my birthday. I'm 57 years old. Years ago, long time ago, I was incarcerated in a federal prison for a federal crime. So, I'm a convicted felon. Get over it if you don't like it. Go look at somebody else's video if that offends you. I don't care if you like my videos. I don't care if that offends you, that fact offends you. I'm telling you. It's a fact. There's been a lot to develop some self-mastery and mental discipline over. Alright? Getting to the quitting smoking, it was like finally getting to that last 5 acres of land in that hypothetical scenario I laid out here just a moment ago. But back to the, I'll wait for a better day when there's less stress in life. Let me continue my little story because, again, this is not about me. This is about you quitting smoking or any other such thing you have to deal with in life. I'll wait till there's a less stressful day. I could go on and on about what might be a little bit stressful right now in my day regarding my future, my ability to survive and hold on to this new house I just got after my old one burned to the ground last October. My ability to keep what I have worked for, to get back or to maintain or to clean up after a fire, after being hit by a tractor trailer and so forth, after a federal incarceration period, after a whole life of things that have to be dealt with, just like you. Just like your life. That's the point. If you know anything about moving to a new location, looking for another job, switching careers midlife, any of these kinds of things, going back to school, you'll know, or getting married, getting divorced, having a child, parent dying, brother dying, best friend getting a splinter. You'll know that these things can be stressful. The situation I just described about me, not being able to go back to a line of work that I've been doing, which was a last-ditch effort to make a living anyway, having tried many different things in life and finding little barriers popping up all the damn time, okay? And learning to maintain a good outlook, mental discipline, mentally disciplined outlook all the time through every bit of it, including getting my arm to actually ever move again because of proper mental discipline. Alright? I'm trying to tell you here. This situation that I'm in right now concerning my ability to earn a buck is extremely stressful. And yet, I'm not smoking. Day 5. Oh, maybe I'll wait till there's a less stressful day. Mamby-pamby. What is this? A playground for little girls? Is that what you think this is? Go ahead, get dislike this video, hit the thumbs down. Get all your friends to do it. I don't care. Make the most hated video on YouTube. 3 million thumbs down. Do it. Mamby Pamby. I'll wait till there's a more easy time to quit smoking. Folks, there will never be one of those. Less stressful period of life. Am I using nicotine replacement therapy? Do I have on any patches? Huh? Do I have on any patches? This is physical therapy tape to remind my muscles up here not to be used when I try to raise my arm because they don't work right. I'm just started physical therapy for this injury. That's where I got the confirmation. My own suspicion was that I cannot keep doing this line of work. I've known that since I got hit by a truck. The surgeon I talked to who referred me to physical therapy also made such indications. Now the physical therapist also told me that's 3 people, one being me. Alright, so no, this is not a nicotine patch. This is something else here. This has to do with physical therapy, not nicotine therapy, okay? Do I have on any nicotine patches anywhere? You tell me. Do I? Do I have on any nicotine patches? No. Am I chewing nicotine gum, Nicorette, whatever it is? Do I have lozenges? No. Would I like to? Yes. They are on order. But I had to quit the very first day that I set out a plan to quit. My plan was to quit in 30 days. Then that changed to 2 weeks. Oh, I have quit for life phone care, phone help going on. Yeah, I can call them anytime. I set up a plan with them. And it turned out I had to quit that day. Not in 30 days, not in 14 days, that day. Because I took a drag on a cigarette, the stress from making a decision to quit smoking is different than the stress of not being able to afford a pack of smokes today. Or any other day. Or just running out. And not getting to a store yet. And having a nicotine fit. That's a different kind of anxiety. That's a different kind of thing than making a firm decision. A firm decision that every cell in your body knows. That every plane of your being is aware of. That's a different thing. The anxiety can shoot through the roof that day. It did for me. It got so bad that day that I had set out a quit date of 30 days out. It was so high that I took a drag on a cigarette and an old thing happened. Something that hadn't happened for years. Another anxiety-related thing that I had dealt with a long time ago. That was acute hiccups, severe hiccups that don't go away without medication. I get regular hiccups now and then, like from, an air bubble at the bottom of my esophagus. Or perhaps a little bit of indigestion. And then they go away. I know what those hiccups feel like. This is a different thing here. These are full body convulsing, extreme diaphragm convulsion hiccups that do not go away. And that have to do with a brain feedback thing that says, look, see, you hiccuped, now you'll hiccup again. And it takes some kind of like weird medication to make that stop. The whole thing. Well, that happened. I took a drag on a cigarette and that happened. right as I was inhaling, oh no! I applied what I know to make that stop. I did not end up having to go to the hospital for the first time in my life. See, it's been some 15 years since I had that happen. The hiccup thing. From other causes. In that last 15 years, I have learned how to communicate with my solar plexus and get it to cooperate with what I wanted to do. And I applied that knowledge. You will find instruction along those lines right here in my channel. In my narrated book series, self-narrated book series by TheronQRamacharaka called The Solar Plexus or Abdominal Brain. You will find that instruction right here. I have dealt with my solar plexus before in previous years in a very similar manner to what is laid out in that book. I did it again. I got my solar plexus to wake up and listen to what I was telling it. What I wanted it to do and why I wanted it to do it. To make my diaphragm, right here, you know, stop this bullshit. Going off, flying off on its handle. Bullshit. Fucking body going off the rail. Because I'm going to quit smoking in 30 days. Let me tell you something about this self-mastery stuff. Some of this physical control, brainwave control, solar plexus control, and so forth stuff. Energy control. It's not easy to do. You come into this channel and you look at some of my videos and you think about them, you listen to them, you maybe hit repeat, replay, whatever, listen to it again and think, oh, I got out of it what there is to get out of it. Mamby-pamby. That's mamby-pamby. What do you think this is? A playground for little girls? You need to pay close attention to the instruction given in this channel. You need to follow through with it. You need to go at it 100%. It's not easy. But it does work. You have to do your part. What's here in my channel is only the necessary conditions for effectiveness. The sufficient condition is yours to do. That is, do it. Do it like there's no tomorrow left in your life at all. Solar plexus. Yeah, the instruction about the solar plexus works. It sure as hell does, but it's not easy. It's not as easy as it sounds. It takes a lot to get your solar plexus to actually pay attention to your thinking brain. The solar plexus works solely at a gut level of operation. It is not the thinking brain. It is a brain of its own. It's like a separate entity living inside you. It's an entity that comprises your overall organism. Oh yeah. It's a nerve tissue bundle that communicates, has interior communication going on. Very much like, in a similar manner to your thinking brain. But it's at a very gut instinct, cell, physical level of operation. I don't know how else to say it here. To get it to actually wake up from what it's doing, and doing very well at its normal daily operations level of going about affairs, and actually respond in a way that your thinking brain would prefer that it will respond to given circumstances that might not be normal. Like acute hiccup syndrome or whatever from having inhaled a cigarette. You see, the solar plexus does not understand cigarette because cigarette is not part of the human body. It's not a natural thing. So shit that's coming along as a result of inhaling smoke from a cigarette, the solar plexus might not respond to. It'll just let things keep on going. If the diaphragm decides I'm going to flutter, the solar plexus will keep feeding it energy to flutter until you tell it to stop doing that and take care of the situation in the way that you know is best for the overall organism. But it takes some real effort to get the solar plexus to wake up from what it's doing very attentively and pay attention to you telling it to do something a little bit differently for the overall health of the organism and therefore for its overall well-being too. It takes a lot of effort. It's harder than what the solar plexus or abdominal brain book narration indicates. But the instruction in it is accurate. It's just not something you can go through and try and expect a result. And then go walking around saying, well, that just was bullshit, that didn't work. If you got no result like that, it takes some severe effort. It takes a full-blown effort. But once you get the hang of it, you can do it again and again and again. I'm telling you this because I just went through this again a couple of days ago to get the hiccups to stop. It took severe effort. Dealing with my solar plexus, I knew that was the way to it. And it worked. It took 12 hours of effort with my solar plexus to make it happen. I did not have to go to the hospital. That is an example of the stress just from knowing I'm going to quit smoking. And that is why also I had to quit smoking right then. That drag on that cigarette that caused those hiccups was it. That was it. No more. No more smoking. That was it. No 30 days out. No, now. Without nicotine patches, without gum, without lozenges. Just done. Without a rehearsed plan. In the face of perhaps not being able to make a living in time to keep what I now have in life. At all. Wait for a better day. Wait till I have nicotine patches. No. Now. You see how I'm acting right now? Am I a little bit irritable? Yeah. Am I maintaining self-control? Yeah. I can barely sit down and sit still right now. This is day 5. I can barely sit still. And this is better than days 1, 2, 3, and 4. I can finally sit down and make a video about this. In fact, it took up till this 5th day to even think of it. Normally, I would have thought of this. This would have been part of my plan. What an opportunity to help people. Here in my channel. I didn't even think of it. The mental wherewithal to think of this was not even available to me, to my cognition, until today, day 5. Then it occurred to me, while I was eating, again, eating. There's something that today I'm getting better control over than I had the previous 4 days. I let it go for 4 days. Eat. Oh, eat. There's no stopping the eating now. Well, there wasn't for the first 4 days. Oh, no. The eating. Woo. Found my old Cracker Jack uniform from the Navy. You know, the dress blues, enlisted person's Cracker Jack uniform with the Dixie cup hat, you know, the dark uniform with the big bell bottoms and, you know, the white piping around the bib that hangs down the back. All of that, you know. I had one specially tailored for when I'm on leave. You know, you roll back the piped cuff and then I had dragons embroidered in there. Tapered the top, the jumper part of it, had a zipper put in because it was all tapered, you know, and had from the waist down to the knees tightened up so they were very form-fitting and then blossom out in these, you know, the big bell-bottom things, whatever. That always fit me. It's been since I was 28 years old, 30 years old, that's when I got that uniform. It was a special one I had made for when I went on leave. It still fit. Till a couple days ago. I tried it on yesterday. I got it out of an old trunk that survived my fire. Tried it on, it was just a little getting tight, you know? 4 days of eating. Not smoking, but eating. Eating! 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 Yeah, eating! There's just no stopping that. Unless you practice some mental discipline. You think I'm going to get fat from not smoking? Did you just think maybe? Well, mamby-pamby! What is this, anyway, huh? After all, this ain't no playground for little girls. Now, I did my 4 days of pigging out. That's it. Today, now there's mental discipline over that. I just had the mental wherewithal to make a video about all of this now, didn't I? That means some progress is being made. Therefore, I can now make another alteration. Get some mental discipline going over the freaking food. 4 days of just letting that go, dealing with some more primary things. It's enough. Oh yeah! I'm burning incense. Look at this. Look at this. You see this? Instead of a cigarette making smoke in the air, I got my smoke in the air. Smells a lot better than freaking cigarettes. Oh yeah! A little something burning. How about this too? This is where my ashtray used to be. Oh, looks like I need another one. Hang on. Here we go. No ashtray in the house now. I'm burning the candle instead. This is where there used to be an ashtray, right here. Yep. Oh yeah. Water. Oh, but I can barely sit still. I'm supposed to be working on making some videos, working on a project somebody proposed to me about my videos that I've already posted here on YouTube. Reorganizing them all. That seemed like a pretty good thing to do because maybe such reorganization could make them kind of like downloadable to be preserved for posterity, for the future of humanity. But then, and that all seemed like something that I've been looking for, somebody to come along and suggest something like that to me for some years, a couple of years now. Then came no more cigarettes. And suddenly my thinking about that all changed into something like, what the? Redo everything I already did for free? I already did it for free. It's in as good situation as state of affairs, arrangement, categorization, labeling as it's going to be. Any reorganizing of it. That's just, what is this? A playground for little girls? You want me to go back and redo everything? Reorganize it all for what? I need money. Pay me. That's where my thinking went. I'm facing not smoking here. I can barely sit down long enough to look at one of my old videos. I don't even remember what's in most of them. I know the material, but I don't know what material's in which video. I'm going to spend my time figuring out how the hell I'm going to keep my house. How about sending me some damn money? Then I'll think about maybe reorganizing my videos that I already posted. You want them reorganized for your understanding? You reorganize them for your understanding. That's where my mind went. Yeah. I can barely sit down long enough to even read an article about finding a different career. right now. I'm really jumpy. Do I appear to be a little bit jumpy, a little bit irritable? What's the point? What's my point? My point is, all of this shit can happen when you stop smoking. Does that mean that you can't do it? Mamby-pamby. If you have made it through this video this far, viewing this video to this point, then perhaps you are interested in at least quitting smoking, or at least in understanding or viewing, interested in what it's like to quit. Or perhaps you're even interested in some of the other kinds of things that are in this channel. Self-mastery, discipline training, personal evolvement, tying together some loose ends in your life toward that end. Whatever. Performance in life. Anything like this. Then, if you have interest along those lines, take a look at what's happening here in this video for you to learn about. Can you too do it? Anything like this? Yes. And if you think otherwise, what do you think this is? In addition, a playground for little girls? Get with the program. Get your mind right. Get over it. And no, I'm not a wuss, pushover, new age, passive, love conquers all thing in my everyday thinking. If I seem to be a little bit on the informatively aggressive side today, and you don't like it, then hit dislike under this video. I don't care. I'm TheronQRamacharaka. Have a good day.